It's too dark! I need some light!
Sven, it's not rocket science, and you know rocket
There we
science.
go. Professor, how have things been progressing?
Things have been progressing very well. The time machine is completely rebuilt. Some parts of it are even better than they were before it broke down, in fact. And
Really?
I've got a fancy new hat.
Where did you get that hat? Looks like it's something you picked up from the 1940s. Were you out? Oh, he's not going to tell us. Were you out experimenting last night with the time machine?
I definitely was. I made a few test runs just to see the extent of how far we can travel. And we are, again, limitless in how far back or forth we can travel. We have full access to the time vortex.
Cool!
And all is well.
All right.
Oh, yes. And one of the places I went to last night was, I went back to check out the 1980s.
Why on earth would you do that?
I was asking myself that same question, and then I remembered. Because I usually take souvenirs from all my...
Oh, do you?
And I forgot to take one there because I was so stressed about the broken time machine.
Yes.
So I went back and took the sign for the Cosmic Club.
Oh.
Don't worry, they didn't mind. I hated that place, I hated that time, but this is a very cool sign, and I think I'll hang it somewhere in the time machine.
That's the name of the place that guy was in the 80s, right?
Yes, Vic McFly.
Vic McFly. That's
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, cool. So, what do you think we're going to do today?
Oh, today is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
We are going back to... We are going back to...
97.
Yeah. 97 BC, or AD, 97 AD, sorry, to a city called Pompeii.
Huh?
I thought this was 79.
79?
Mm.
No. Yeah, to a city called Pompeii. You may have heard of it. It is famous for being destroyed by a volcano. For some reason, the people of that city built their city around an active volcano called Mount Vesuvius.
Why on earth would they do that?
I guess it seemed like a good idea at the time. I really have no idea. And that's actually why I'm going back. I want to find out why on earth they would.
Why would you build a
done that.
city in front of an active volcano? Wow. This is kind of interesting. This is one of our history books that we have here at the church and the library. It's called the Bible Timeline. And it goes from 1 all the way up to 100 AD. There's all kinds of interesting things that happen in the world. And it's a timeline that the Bible covers, and you can't see it real good. Maybe later on we'll show it to you, but there is a picture about this city that he's talking about. It was called Pompeii. So we'll show this to you a little bit later on. I'll pass it out. But for right now, I think we better get going. Probably should check the alternate power source and see how things are moving there.
Alternate power source.
Yes, it is.
This is going to be a tricky one. Sven, please open the time curtain.
Will we have a guest?
Oh my, welcome, it's festival day.
It must be because you're for the festival.
What strange clothes you're wearing. I don't understand your language.
I'm not sure where he got those things. Perhaps it was after sacrificing to Vulcan.
No, I don't do that sacrifice.
You don't? Oh my goodness, you will be cursed, you better be careful.
How do you keep your plants fertile? How do you keep your land good?
I'm a traveler. I don't have any land or plants.
Well, you should stay here. We have plenty. Our harvests are always full. And today's festival day. Enjoy the festival.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that this land is very fertile.
It's beautiful, and the vegetables we've had, green beans this big.
Yes, it looks very beautiful. One thing though,
Oh, that's a lovely poetry. Yeah, someday I know for sure I'm going to be etched in stone.
It's because you're so wealthy. You're so coin. Won't you please have some food with us?
I'm sorry, I'm just here for a short visit. But one thing, there appears to be, see that mountain? Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah, well, of course. That's where we live.
Do you not notice that it's smoking?
Well,
There's smoke coming from the top of that volcano.
And it always do that.
yeah, all the time.
Well, that's an active volcano.
Oh, but we've already sacrificed to Vulcan today. It's festival day, you know. Great sacrifices were made. We don't have anything to worry about.
No worries at all.
No.
You aren't worried about that tremor? Didn't you just feel that?
We usually hold on to the dishes when that happens. It's okay.
But that's a sign that the volcano is going to erupt. Aren't you the least bit worried?
Oh, no, that's just a little small tremor. We'll be fine.
And the last time that happened, it left a lot of volcanic ash. And you know what happened? We have wonderful vegetables because of it. Tomatoes this big. Strawberries that big. Oh, it's wonderful.
You lot aren't scared by very much, are you? Live next to an active volcano, strange man shows up with a strange machine and strange clothes, speaking strange language. Look at you.
Well, the wine was very good.
That's another tremor. Didn't you feel that? Aren't you at all worried about the volcano?
What's to worry about? I get all I can eat gyro.
Sacrifices aren't going to do anything. They're birds. And that's what that is. Okay.
They've always been pretty good and worked really well for us.
Oh, sister, maybe we should get something more flexible.
Well, we have those extra sheets that we can put into the volcano. Look!
Sorry. I think we have to leave. We're evacuating the city. Sacrifice won't help you. When it's time for now. Well, turn it out. see what I can do about getting it. Wow. Looks like we came back to the future a bit too quickly. The engines will need to cool down. I don't think we'll be able to go back before later this evening, possibly the end of the day.
Was that loud bang? Did you guys hear a really loud bang?
Yes.
Really loud? I don't know. You know, sometimes it seems, well, mic doesn't work for one thing. Maybe it got overheated. Could be. Do you have a house by an active volcano? Who lives by an active volcano? Anybody? Heaven does. Sometimes, no we don't, he goes. Addie would know.
Our river is in our active volcano.
Would you build a house on a lake?
No.
Okay. Would you build a house on a box of ice cream?
No.
Would you build a house on a bag of marshmallows?
No.
Okay, a bag of marshmallows might be yummy, but it probably wouldn't be dangerous, right? And if you build a house on marshmallows, I mean, why would you?
Yeah.
It's just silly. Your house will fall down! People build houses in weird places. You ever see pictures of the condos in Florida? They're like huge places, and they're on the beach, right next to the water. And we know what happens to water when they have storms. What happens? Tsunamis, floods, locusts, terrible stuff. And it's bad. It's bad. People build houses in a lot of stupid places. That sounded to me like a very bad idea.
Very bad idea.
But there was something else going on too. He was trying to warn them, and what did they do? They laughed at him. It's okay. We'll be fine.
Listen to me.
You're going to learn a lesson today that it's not fine sometimes. When you think you're fine, sometimes you're not. And you find out sometimes that you have built some things that you think on sand. We're going to let the kids go. We're going to try and figure out what on earth happened to this place. Maybe we'll find out what happened to those ladies. I guess we're going to have to do some research in the database. Maybe you know what? We'll have to figure out what happened. Later on, we'll have another time trip. Try to figure out what exactly happened to those ladies.
Yes, it looks like the engine should be cooled down by later this evening. I think we'll be able to make another trip back.
Cool. Okay,
I'll
great.
go to right after the volcano stops erupting.
Well, if that volcano erupted, it was very, very hot, must have been. Sometimes when we sin against God, we pay a real bad price for it, and our intention is not to scare anybody, but you have to pay attention to the lesson, to what history teaches, and because they were stupid enough back in 79 AD to build a city so close to an active volcano and not listen to warnings that they were being told to leave, something very bad happened. We heard it earlier. So Sven, if you would get the alternate power source, we're going to take a trip, but not quite so far back. The volcano erupted in 79 AD, and the city of Pompeii was lost. Does anybody have any idea how long it was lost for? No, not forever. They found it, but they found it in 1749 by accident. It was lost for over 1,650 years. 1,650 years. That's how long it was lost for, and we're going to kind of show you why.
Sven, alternative power source.
The volcano exploded, and for 6 hours it dumped ashes on the people of this city. And it was so hot that it basically flash fried them. And I'm going to send around a couple of pictures. Okay, again, this is not to scare you, but this is history. This actually happened. Here's a picture of, the first one is a painting of what happened, what the volcano actually looked, what the volcano probably looked like. And you'll see the city, and on the bottom is all that's left today. They found this in the 1700s, and they dug and dug and dug and dug around it. I'm going to pass this around. And what happened was the ashes basically kind of baked the people there. And you can take a look at these pictures too. The mountain was very big, and after it blew up, I'm going to show you a picture of this too. This is what Mount Vesuvius, the mountain that Pompeii was built in front of, looks like today. Can anybody see that? I'm going to pass it. It blew the top of the mountain right off. So, the lesson here is, sometimes when we're doing things that we're not supposed to, God is trying to get your attention by saying, don't do this. Have you ever felt like that? You're in the middle of something, and suddenly you feel like maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe you should be paying attention to what God's trying to tell you. You ever get, I don't know, stung by your conscience? Well, there's a really good reason for that sometimes. Sometimes if you don't pay attention to what God or other people that God sends to you are trying to tell you, bad things could happen. What happened to the guy who built his house on a rock? It stayed and didn't fall, right? When you build your relationship on Jesus, all right, you're not going to fall much. When you build your relationship on doing what God wants you to do, rather than what you want to do, things are going to be better. When Professor When was trying to warn these two ladies, how did they act to him? Did they act like he was just being a big stupid? He was being silly. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Well, some people are going to try to tell you that, and you have to pay attention to what God is telling you, because if you don't, bad stuff could happen. Now, personally, because I love God and I know He loves me, I know God doesn't want bad things to happen to anybody. I know He didn't want to lose these people in Pompeii, but they would not listen. They wouldn't leave when the tremors were happening. Remember, before the thing exploded, we were hearing these tremors? It was a warning. And God gives us warnings, and we need to pay attention. So, like we're being warned that somebody will need to get changed soon. He's been changed. All right. We're going to let the classes go get their prizes. And then we have to come back here because then Professor When has to bring us back to the present.